Good morning. We are about to 8:39, so it's half an hour, 10, 1 hour, 1.5, 11, 2 hours and a half before I have to work. And I just wanted to give you guys an update. I just woke up, um, made some coffee, sing some blues, and my cats can't go out. Um, Apparently, they were jumping on one side of the roof, of the tin roof that is over here, and they were making it go down somehow, or I don't know. I don't know how it happened, but the owner of the building says that they can't go out anymore to the window. So we've been trying to make them go out through the front door, and it's not quite the same because there's a dog upstairs. There's actually two dogs upstairs. So they can't go upstairs to the roof because they have to go through the dogs and the dogs will chase them. And there's nowhere to go downstairs. It's just the front door, stair that goes down to the front door. So it's no fun for them to go out there. So they're kind of antsy and crazy and loco. And I got to deal with that loco cat energy. But it's okay. It's fine. It is what it is. uh, I've been doing the waking and baking thing because it helps me with my job. It helps me makes the job go faster somehow. When I smoke pot and I'm working, it's quicker. It's less difficult. I'm less, I guess, bored is the answer. It's less boring if I smoke. It goes quicker. It's funny how things are, when you're bored, they go slower. If you're bored of doing something, it goes slower. And if you're smoking pot, well, the boredom level goes down. It's kind of an interesting effect. Garbage hasn't passed by. That's not pleasant. The garbage picked up um, at some point. So, and I'm working on Lore Master 3. Should be finished hopefully by next week. Today's Friday. Um, I got my dentist on Monday. Man, I got the dentist on Monday. Don't remind me. Girlie's got her theater piece next month. So we spent a whole lot of money on wardrobe, but I guess it's a necessary expense. And what else? Well, Trump is out of the White House. I was actually expecting more madness, but I guess it's not the moment. Um, it's interesting because it demonstrates that that thing we call democracy is just in shambles. Uh, which is actually not entirely a bad thing because America has done some serious damage to the world in many, 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 many ways. Um, it's done some good, but as much as it's done good, it's done damage, especially to culture. If we think about American culture and TV and everything, um, the cultural I want to say exploitation that we see coming from the United States, from the, I guess I need to go buy some trash bags and cat food. The exploitation of the nativity of nativity. You're naive. Anyways, it's outrageous. I mean, the propaganda, American propaganda is very powerful. It's very good. It's, Hollywood has managed to capture the entire world with its movies and its ideas, but now we're seeing the dark side of it, which is that they control what you see, they control what you hear, they control what you think, and not all of it is good. So it's, and now they've taken real control. Any type of dissent, any type of opposing view is immediately and ruthlessly castigated and shut down, which we know is going to happen. I mean, that's kind of what we expected was going to happen. But to see it happen in my lifetime is interesting. What else? Can't find my tripod again. I had a great tripod. I don't know what happened to it. So nothing has changed. I mean, they got Trump out of the White House, but it doesn't change anything, really. It's still the same people in charge. For a little bit, we have an idea that maybe somebody different would come around and change things, like a Trump dictator. But he didn't make it. He failed. And now we see the hand of China and Russia and the oligarchs, not just the United States, the whole world. I mean, if you think about it, the pharma industry is German and Swiss. Pfizer's not even American. It's Pfizer Swiss or something? I'm not sure. No, Bayer is. Guys that make Bayer aspirin are Swiss. Germans. I was actually just outside the chemicals factory for Bayer in Mannheim, Germany. And they have a huge factory over there, which did a lot of toxic dumping on the Neckar River, the big river besides the Rhine. There's the Rhine, there's Neckar. And if you look at the satellite photographs of the rivers, well, you see the Amazon, which is blue, and then you see, the Volga and the Rhine and all the European rivers, the Siena, and they're gray. The water's gray. That's how deep the contaminants go, that you can actually see them clearly on the satellite. There's no hiding it. Just like you can see the light from space when it's night, when on the dark side of the earth, when it's night, you can see all the lights. They're like tiny little fires from the satellite. And people don't connect that to the destruction of their planet. I mean, they don't see it as destruction, destructive. But if you see it as fire, it's evident it's not very healthy for the other species. Mm. The the basic concepts of the destruction of nature to create human spaces that are basically free of bugs, animals, birds. Lucifer, Lucifer, ¿qué dice? They can't go out. Cats can't go out. Isn't that beautiful though? Look at that. Little cat, little girl, and they love each other. So nothing changed. I mean, nothing has changed. Everything is exactly the same. It's same shit show um, of human um, of human suicide. Somehow we're killing each other constantly. I imagine eventually, it'll come to a point where there'll be no turning back and we'll just become extinct. Because we're not doing anything to protect ourselves from that. We're actually doing the opposite. We're not taking seriously the voices of the prophets like McKenna and all those guys. Because we can't, because the people in power don't want to lose that power, and that power depends on fossil fuels, for instance. Weapons on the more the darker side of mankind. I mean, the military-industrial complex exists, and it's apparent. And when is the yes? It's apparent that it's there, and it's not going to go away just because some crazy orange-haired guy wants to shut it down. I mean, guys like Q Shaman are empowered by guys like Trump, but at the end of the day, they don't have the ability to hold on to the capital. So they become arrested, they're arrested, then they're forgotten or ridiculed, and it's just business as usual, And it's sad. The changes that are going on the planet are bigger than us now. They're actually bigger than us. I mean, in the '60s, the top of the Cold War, Russia and the United States made, I think, thousands. I'm not sure if it's thousands, but it was certainly more than hundreds of experiments with nuclear bombs all over the desert, a lot of little islands here and there. So Hiroshima was all over the place. All that radioactivity, all that destruction. Then we got nuclear power, and we got Chernobyl and stuff. And nobody questions, are we doing the right thing? Nobody stops to think that maybe we're in the wrong path here. Nobody grows urban gardens. I mean, yeah, there's a few people that do it, but certainly not the majority. The majority of people are just running in the mill, the economic rat race, working like I do. I work what, 8 hours a day, 6 days a week. So I have a little bit of time to think about things, put it on video for you guys. But in truth, uh, I'm just the cog in the machine, you know. And then when I'm too old to do it, it'll be the turn of these kids. They'll be the cogs, and they'll die. Be any real change or difference in what did beyond whatever a few words I can say on YouTube or write in books for Amazon. And YouTube and Amazon, we've just learned, are compromised like Twitter on certain themes. There's certain voices and themes that will be shut down and censored. So I warned people about it. I said, look, they're going to go after the internet. Um, they did. The websites that are really out there with new ideas and new concepts. Um, a lot of them, had CP on them, and because of the CP, they shut them down. And it doesn't matter why they shut it down. I mean, nobody likes. I personally don't like to watch dismembered people by the cartels, but it's stuff that is going on, and it's being censored so that people have a sense of tranquility, which is actually false. So think about that. We don't watch the cartel videos on YouTube. They get taken down, where people are dismembered and their heads cut off and their skin peeled out. And people don't see that, so they don't believe it exists. They don't know it exists. You have to go into the deep web to do that. And the deep web, little by little, is being controlled, because finally, in the structure of mankind, there's people that have authority over what you watch and what you see and what you don't. And those people are pretty much always the same. They're the ones that have most power economically. Bankers, lawyers, doctors. They're the military people, the people in the military spheres. They talk about military intelligence. Well, being very clever about how to murder people is not very intelligent, anyways. So, one of the worst censors of war of all. Soccer moms worried about their kids watching things they shouldn't on TV. Somebody there, somebody watching. That's good. So we see Twitter ban Trump. And nobody questions themselves. Wait a minute. A tech company banned the words and the speeches of a president of a country. It doesn't penetrate our thick skulls that there could be something wrong about that. There could be something really wrong in the structure of power attached to that. And of course, the bearded guy from Twitter, what's his name? He's probably trying to do the right thing, trying to prevent people from hurting me. Trump from using Twitter as a bullpit for his fascist doctrines. He's probably justified in his heart that he's doing the right thing. But it doesn't stop the fact
And now we know that an industrialist can actually censor the president. And then not just one, but a whole set of people can censor the president. And so suddenly the very office of president of the United States becomes kind of ridiculously lame. So if the president of the United States cannot force his words to be heard on social media, he's not in power. He doesn't have power. He never did. And that's the problem. There's no leadership. There's just this kind of chaotic cacophony of interests which are not necessarily the same as the leaders that we are supposed to follow. So chaos rules. That's evident. Chaos is the individual interests of people in power that get to that power by whatever means they did. I mean, Bezos certainly didn't. Bezos wasn't Bezos when he was a kid. Or maybe he was, I don't know. He was just a kid. He became Bezos by his acts. The family powers, the most prominent, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, families that have been in power for a very long time will not probably, the DuPonts, they're not going to be leaving power anytime soon because their power is based on wealth that is passed down generation after generation, and it takes very, very crazy people to get rid of that power, right, Mom? Perhaps it's better for the soul not to have so much power. Perhaps the soul of man is more ennobled by being a slave than being a slave owner. The white genocide meme is going to go on. It's inevitable because whites are becoming a minority, and they're becoming a minority because there's fewer whites, and that is kind of becoming extinct. What is causing it? Well, there's a lot of different theories around there. I know that white people have a lot of enemies. Certainly. By white people, I mean this white movement of we are white people, we the whites, white people. There's a lot of different types of white people. White people don't really exist. It's just a variety of hey, Shamila, Roy, hi Shamila. I'm just dumping my mind into the YouTube channel to see what I can regurgitate from my daily thoughts before I have to work again. How am I? I'm doing good, thank you. I'm tired of work, working very hard to keep this thing together, and I'm not used to working so hard. I used to receive my Social Security in Valle, and I don't have it anymore, so now I got to work. Am I doing tarot today? No, hon. I'm just jiving a little bit before I have to work. I'm not doing a tarot show. I just wanted to regurgitate what's on my head right now about what's going on in the world. Um, um, if tarot was profitable for me, I'd probably do tarot, but I have a very specific sum of money that I need to generate to keep this apartment going, which is nothing. It's in the hundreds of dollars, not in the thousands of dollars a month. But in Mexico, if you don't work with the system, you don't get that money. And certainly I haven't been able to get it on the tarot. I'm working on some writing stuff that may liberate me from having to do the car rentals. But until that money is steady, which is the problem, same problem that I have with the tarot. I mean, tarot is good money, but it's not steady money. Sometimes I have a lot of it, sometimes I don't have any of it. So, until I can steady my money, I don't foresee myself doing a lot of tarot. You know, I read cards. I'll read your cards for you if you want a card reading. I'll be happy to do it for you. Just $20. But I need a steady paycheck to keep this shit going. So I need to work my Avis budget job where I work for Budget Rent-A-Car. I'm actually outsourcing the customer service and rental phone work from the United States. I mean, the job should be done by Americans because it's all in America. I mean, all my clients are in the United States. People renting cars, right, by phone. But it's outsourcing, and the outsourcing is big in Mexico. There's a lot of huge outsourcing companies out here that do customer service for a lot of people in the States. So that's what I'm doing here. It's just very time consuming. It's very time consuming. What I really hate about it is that it's like, from 11 to 7 daily, except Mondays right now. And Monday I have to go take care of my tooth. Bitching job. I guess, 99% of the people have jobs like these. That have houses, that have, apartments. Or they have, the lucky ones, the ones that get away, go live under a bridge in Tampa Bay or something. But in order to do that, you have to be free of attachments. And by attachments, I mean people. You need to be alone. To be able to live alone, you need to be alone. And for the moment, I got Nanda and Rasa, and I want to make sure that they're okay. So I got to do what I got to do to make that happen, right? It's a series of compromises that one makes with oneself. And one does that because one feels the need to do it. So that's my situation with all this. I love cloth. Cloth is interesting. I'll save it. I'm not sure what to do with it. A lot of it. But I like it. Like this one. It's a piece of a shirt that I loved, but finally fell apart. Use it to wipe my nose. So, six days a week, 8 hours a day, gives me enough money to pay the rent, have basically gives me enough money to pay the rent. I have to then do the other work that I do, writing and stuff, to pay for the extras, like we just bought the wardrobe for my kids' theater piece. The Christmas gifts, all that stuff. That was extra work that I did online writing, which is what I was going to do right now. I just wanted to load down on myself what's going on with my life so that I can. And, it's a kind of meditation. I mean, this monologue. This monologue that I'm giving you guys is kind of my putting my shit together in my head. The biggest event I've gone through in the last 10 years, 20 years, was my mom's death. And it was an event that showed me the fragility of life. The incredible fragility of life. I mean, this cat, for instance, is going to die one day. Right now she's alive, she's happy, she can be scratched. But one day she'll be dead. So will I. Here's my wall of the dead. Of all the people that are living and now are dead. Yeah, Sky got covered up by the boxes. Hi, Sky. Hi, Bash. Hi, Alex. Hi, Bean. My room is chaotic, as you can see. Looking for the tripod, actually. I need to throw my pee away. I gotta pee in a bucket at night because I don't make it all the way to the to the bathroom. So I pee in a bucket, and that's no fun. It's called aging, and we all do it. This is my breakfast. I just took my heart pills. My blood pressure pills, I mean. And these, I'm cleaning up the closet. That's the reason the room is so cluttered right now. Couldn't try to clean the closet. I just don't have time enough time for everything. You know, Lucifer. Kitchen is Rasa's responsibility this time. She's the one that's supposed to clean it. And I gotta focus on writing Lore Master 3, which, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit of a writer's block. Not huge, but quality writing comes in inspiration. It's not something you can just cause to happen. There's a writing exercise where you put yourself in front of the empty page and you write whatever's first thing that comes to your mind. But sometimes when you're trying to write a story, you try to come up with ideas and they're not very good. They're not like great. They're like mediocre. It's called writer's block, and it's horrible. It's painful, but I want to finish the Lore Master 3 at least by the end of this week. By like Monday, before I have to go to the dentist, or maybe Tuesday. When I have my tooth like that, I'll be wanting to think things that make me not think about my tooth. So probably the Lore Master will be on my top of the list. But writing is that, writing is about that. It's about trying to get, here, I'll show you. Hey, Mom. Oh, it's a beautiful smile she had there. Everybody was happy. So, blank page, you go to a blank page and you try to fill it with words that people will read and will be excited to read. People, should be excited to read your words. That's the job. That's what I really like to do. For breakfast, leftover spaghetti. I like to have breakfast in the morning. Cold spaghetti. I love it. Right out of the pot. Because I want to focus on the writing, see? So I'm not going to worry about making spaghetti right now or some breakfast. Some cold spaghetti. Leftover spaghetti is always better the next day. The sauce kind of mixes with the spaghetti and it's just delicious. All right. Lore Master 3. That's our job right now. So yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit with you guys of what's going on with me this morning. I'm going to sing one song and then I'm going to go. It's already 35 minutes in this video. These long, rambling videos of an old man eating spaghetti out of a pot. Robert 1. Hi there. Hi there, Robert. I'm eating spaghetti out of a pot. Gracias. Buen provecho. Gracias, gracias. My writing projects. Lore Master role-playing game, character sheets. This one's finished. This one I'm going to send in. This one I'm going to self-publish. This one I'm going to self-publish. This one I'm going to self-publish. I don't even know what that is. But I got to get rid of you guys so that I can focus on this. So, sing your song. ¿Alguien tiene un tema para la canción de hoy? Robert One and Shamila Roy came down to visit. Robert One and Shamila Roy wanted to roat. But all they're gonna get is an old guy eating spaghetti from a can. Without music, life is no good. Without flowers, there's no bees, and without sun, there's no joy. One more. Dicen por ahí que no sabemos bien qué hay que hacer en esta vida. Todo lo que sé es que hay que saber amar. Dicen por ahí que no sabe uno qué debe de hacer con la vida. Pero hay gente en tu vida que puedes amar. Ama a tus padres. Ama a tus hijos. a todo aquel que te quiera ver bien. Y no tengas más rencor, odio o envidia. Eso es todo lo que sé. Eso es todo lo que me interesa. Amar. Blues. Love you guys. See you.